Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. Today I'm going to do a challenge that I learned of a week or two ago. Seemed pretty awesome. It's called the Copic colors, and it's, I guess, officially sponsored by the Copic marker company. They put out 3 colors per month that you are meant to make a single coloring job with. So the colors this month are Red Violet 32, which is called Shadow Pink, Red Violet 34, which is called Dark Pink, and the final color they actually don't have in the line of markers that I use. And even though I was perfectly willing to buy the color, it didn't come in my set. It only came in different ones, because there's like Copic Chow, Copic Sketch, and then these are just like the main line. It doesn't have a special name. So I picked the closest color. I think their color was Earth Tone 75 or 74. The closest one I had was 77. So that's what I'm going to use for this, because although I'm willing to buy the new colors, I'm not willing to start collecting a whole new set of markers. I want to just have all the one same set. So those are the 3 I'm going to use, and I was thinking about it and I decided that I am going to let myself use my colorless blender, which is just marked as 0. And I went ahead and Googled brown and pink, just the words brown and pink, and then to get ideas for what I could draw. And I really liked when I saw some chocolate covered strawberries that were done with white chocolate that had been dyed pink. And so that's what I drew this up this morning to get it ready for this. I just used a single brush pen to do the lines. I also did a test to make sure that this brush pen is Copic safe, I guess, marker safe, and it did not. It passed the test, so we should be good there. The paper I'm using is this marker paper, which is pretty fun for markers, and it works well with ink too. And since this was a marker challenge, I thought it would be best to use marker specific paper. And I've got little kitty hairs all over my markers. No kitty hairs. Okay. So like with all marker applications, I'm going to start with the lightest color first. That's this Shadow Pink. Not sure what I'm going to do with the leaves yet, because obviously they're green. So I might just leave them and not color them, or I might make them pink or something anyway. But we'll see. I'm going to leave them till last and see what I think. See if maybe it looks like they'll be fine just without color, or if I should take them further. I think chocolate covered strawberries sound especially good because I had some for dessert as part of our Valentine's Day dinner, though we didn't have them until the next day. We ate at the melting pot, and it was like way too much dessert to also eat the chocolate covered strawberries. They were really good the next day. Now I'm like, I want some more. It wasn't enough. They gave us 3, so we split them. So I had 1.5 chocolate covered strawberries. And the ones in this reference picture look super delicious too. Another thing that's nice about this marker paper is that it's see-through, so I was able to do the sketch in my sketchbook, and I didn't need a light table or anything. I just had to put the paper on top and kind of make sure it was flat against the sketchbook paper, and then I could go. So these little sprinkles are actually several different colors. Some are even white, so I want to make sure not to color too many. And let me get this one too. I want it to be kind of random. I don't want them to be too perfectly spaced. Oh, let's move on to the big end. I don't know what the official explanation is, but for me, the reason why I like this marker paper, watercolor paper, marker paper, is that it's not too absorbent, so you don't have to put as much marker down to get a nice color. So it kind of, you're not wasting as much pigment, wasting your marker just trying to get the color to lay down. Now, I'm going to move on to this darker color. So the darker color, I was mostly just going to use it to make shadows for this color. But I am going to make it its own sprinkle color for these little heart sprinkles. That's not enough. I need to add some more. Let's add a few more of this color for the sprinkles. Sprinkle, sprinkle. There. Here. I'm going to leave that. I think that's good. Okay. So I think I'm going to do shadow for this first. I want to end up with a nice blended look, smooth look for this. I'm going to lay this shadow down with a hard line to begin. Ooh, it pulled in some of the ink after all. Gotta be careful, I guess. Okay, this one. This challenge is perfect for me because of course I love Copic markers and I already have a lot of them. But I also just... challenges where you're limited are actually the most fun for me. Because if you can just do whatever, it's harder to decide what you're going to do. Okay, I'm gonna get the... I don't want to do too much brown because I want it to look pretty shiny. I'm hoping that I can use the blender to make some lighter tone, to get some to like gosh, what's the word, thin out this brown and get some brighter tones out of it. Man, I don't know what's happening. My throat's suddenly extremely dry. Whew. Alright. Dang. Whew. Okay, gonna try this on this one, see how that works. I know some people don't use their blender or don't have one. Some people do. There's no hard and fast rules about this. It's just like, this is for fun. Well, it's not as much as I wanted. Maybe if I do a few more lines here. Lines here. It's almost looking pink in and of itself. Maybe I should just use pink. I don't know. I'd rather it be smoother than this. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. But okay. I need to keep trying. Let's keep layering and layering and layering. And also, maybe if I get this blender on here while it's still wet, if I can do that. If I can manage that. Yeah, it's not quite doing what I was hoping. It is doing it a bit. You can see this is now not white. That little dot that I left, but I don't really like it. Now, all I can do is keep adding. I'm going to leave a little bit of brighter color to be some reflective light right here on this side of strawberry. Oh, that's turning out better. Okay, I'm going to leave that for now. I'm probably going to come back to it, but I want to move on to the other strawberries. Now this one has sort of a V. I'm going to draw that right now. The highlight on this one kind of goes in a V like this. I'm going to see if I can use the bigger end without going into the pink area. Oops, went in just a bit, dang it. Gotta be careful. Okay, that's too small. Gotta go back to the little end. Guess I'll try and do all the small areas first. And then I can switch back to the bigger end of the marker. So with Copic markers, as with watercolor, it's kind of like time's not on your side, and the faster you can lay down the color, the more even it will look. So the bigger end is much better for getting that done. because you're putting down a lot more at once. And so it also doesn't dry as fast. So it's just extra good. But sometimes you need this little end in order to not mess up the details. Alright, switch back, switch back. Pretty good. I'm going to start blending into this lighter part in order to make it look like a smoother transition to the highlight. Trying not to blend the pink, at least not yet. Definitely need more dark. So where is it darkest on this berry? Down here at the bottom and along the sides. So trying to be careful. And along this side too. Trying to be careful of the pink, I mean. Up top's pretty dark. Now let's blend that up. Darn, I got some more in the pink. That one definitely needs more work, but I'm going to move on to the next one. So there's all these little tiny hearts. I definitely got to use a small end around here. Now let's see, where is the highlight? It's up here. So I'm going to circle, just so I don't forget. I'm going to work my way up from the bottom, except for that. Want to be extra careful of these white sprinkles. getting this brown color on the dark pink is not as big of a deal. And then even the other pink, it can sort of be blended in, but on the white, I just want the white paper to show through and nothing else. Of course, sometimes the Copic has a mind of its own, and it'll kind of bleed over into an area that the tip of the marker never actually touched. But since this paper isn't too absorbent, it doesn't happen as often here as it would on some other paper. Whew, this little small area is making my hand cramp up. Whew. Almost there. I can switch to the big end for the big area at the top. Okay, let's blend it a bit. First, get this highlight darkened up a bit. This chocolate's shiny, but it's not that shiny. So the highlight shouldn't be pure white. I'm going to blend in between these heart sprinkles, but I'm going to be careful about it. Now, where's the darker parts? It's hard to tell in this picture because it's actually a pretty small picture. It's only like, I don't know, 400 by 400 pixels. Pretty small. It looks like the dark part is the whole tip is pretty dark. So I'll go over that again. Yep, it's dark over here and on the other side. Oops. Got a little bit of brown on the white sprinkle, dang it. Okay, just much brown all along the side. I'm using a reference image, but I did try to make it my own, so it's not just a complete copy of this picture. Change the sprinkles a little bit, and placement, number of berries. So I've got to kind of be careful about shadows. Got to think about why there's a shadow here or there, because one of these might have the shadow of another berry on it, but I didn't actually draw that berry or something like that. Let's see, up top its own leaves are casting shadows, very top. Okay, next one. Nice simple one. Could have just done them all like this, but I really liked the variety. Just looks better. The extra effort's always worth it. This one doesn't even really have much of a highlight on the chocolate part, on the dark chocolate part. Most of the highlight's on the pink on this strawberry. It's pretty dark right here, so keep adding. This part's pretty dark. And a little bit up here. Oops, oh, leaf, dang it. Oh well, can't do anything now, just move on. Blend it. I've always been a little bit disappointed with my blender marker, but I've just learned that you really need a lot of pigment on the page to begin with for it to be able to do its job really well. Okay. Now this strawberry, I think I meant for it to end right underneath this leaf. I don't know, maybe I should make it go down further. I guess that looks more strawberry-like though. If I could fill that in, that might seem too long for a strawberry. The strawberries come in all shapes and sizes, but not usually for these chocolate ones. They usually try to stick to the same size and shape. People who make them, I mean. It's probably easier to weigh them and sell them. Package them if they're all uniform and beautiful. Now for the top. Another thing about the reference image that's different from my picture is I decided to make it look like the strawberries are perfectly covered with chocolate, because there is some of the red strawberry part showing. Let me think about this. Well, I guess I should have done a highlight right here, but it's too late now. But I forgot what I was saying. Oh well, maybe I'll remember. Yeah, I got distracted because I forgot to do a highlight. Too late now. Oh yeah, I didn't leave any red exposed. We didn't really have a red marker, and then yeah, maybe I could have done this color instead of red, but I like it better like this. Let me think what I'm gonna do about guess I'll just make it a lot darker, and then hopefully it'll still look. There's a difference in shading. This one is a lot different from the reference photo. So I changed the way the sprinkles were, I changed its position among all the other strawberries. It's kind of hard to tell, but it looks like this one should be casting a shadow on it. Its neighbor should be casting a shadow on it. It's buried pretty deep between all these strawberries here at the bottom. Make that nice and dark. Up here, bring this all the way up. And some shadow from the top. Oops, got on the leaf again. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Oh well. It's too late. It's too late now. Okay. Let's blend this some. One thing I have over the years found the blender good for is when I go outside the lines, I can use it to sort of blur away the color so it's not quite as obvious that the color's not contained. It doesn't work perfectly or anything, but it does just bring attention away from that. Okay, there's still more work to do everywhere. I want to go back to the pinks. I never got any dark pink on here, so let's do that. Oops, got a little on the brown. Yeah, right here it's quite dark, but there's a little bit coming up from down here. Instead of the blender, I'm going to use this lighter pink to blend out this darker pink. That's what I usually do. Don't even bother with the blender marker and just keep using similar colors to do the blending work. One reason it's good to wait and then go back to an area is because just like watercolor, with these markers, it's slightly different when it's still wet than it is when it's fully dry. So it's just a good idea to give it a second. I actually worked this one so much that I like it quite a bit. I just need to get the same gradation and darkness on all the other ones. Thinking now if I should do any more pink. I think I should get these. So the pink chocolate is clearly dipped after the brown, because in these photos there's a big shadow right here where the pink goes over. Now I'm going to blend this dark pink. This is pretty bright right here, so I'm not going to go too far. I might bring out the blender marker, actually. Colorless blender. Oops, dang it. If I put too much down, then it does start pulling the ink with it. I gotta be careful about that. Let's do a little bit. Let's do something really dark right here. And even here is pretty dark. Looking nice and smooth. Yay! Okay, let's move on to the other one that's like this. This one. Can't really see much of the really dark areas on this one. They're mostly covered up by the other berries. It's kind of dark right here. And over here. Let's add some light. Can you use the big end? Now let's use this colorless. Blend it all together. I wonder if I need to get a refill for my colorless marker. Kind of feels a little dry. I've only ever had a refill, I think only one marker I've ever had to refill my Copic markers ever since I bought them. Like, they're just so good. They last forever as long as you keep them stored well. Tight cap and whatnot. They just, seems to me they only go dry because you use up all the alcohol and pigment inside, not because they've sat for too long like some other markers. Cheap brand markers just, ooh, wrong. Oh, just colorless. Just like that one I used for my Lucky Dip last month. I had only used it 2 or 3 times ever, but it was one of those sort of cheaper brands, and so even though it was stored tightly capped in a bag in another plastic box, so it wasn't exposed to light or air, but it still just dried out. That kind of thing's been making me think that, just like with so many other things in the world, it's better to just spend the money on the expensive one rather than only going for the cheap one. And if I can't afford it yet, if I can't afford the expensive one yet, just don't get anything at all. Because I'm always disappointed when I get the cheap version of something, thinking that, oh, well, it'll do for now. Just finding that with food stuff, equipment, different kinds of equipment like kitchen equipment or power tools or whatever, beauty stuff, makeup especially. Like once I started using high-end makeup, and I'm like, oh, no wonder it was always so hard to apply my makeup before, because I was only using the cheap drugstore stuff. And now it's like, oh, it's so easy. My makeup is so fast now. I don't have to try forever and irritate my skin because I'm just trying and trying and trying to apply it. And then art supplies are exactly the same way. Now, where should I go next? These are looking pretty good. Nice and smooth. Pink is looking good. So I should probably move on to more dark chocolate. I think I will start on this side. This strawberry needs a lot more shadow. Needs a lot more pigment on it. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Let's bring the shadow up a little bit. Getting the shape of the shadow is really important because that's what makes these look like 3D. If you get the shadow wrong, it'll make them look weird and flat, and not like you would expect a strawberry to be shaped. Let's do a little bit right here. These leaves are casting shadows. Add a little there. Let's blend. It's looking good, but I think I still need a lot more. Need a lot more pigment. I'm going to start a little lower this time. I'm doing slightly, a little bit of hatching to also aid in the transition of the color. Even though I want it to be mostly smooth, but in that way not as much color is being put down in the areas where I want it to start fading. Start fading out. Just need a little more. There's this line right here and I want to cover that up. I gotta make sure to keep coming from this darkest area, or else I'll just make more different lines that I'll have to deal with. So if I keep going from the bottom, bringing it up, it'll keep looking relatively even and smooth. Oops, one of my markers rolled away. My dog's having a dream. Doing a little boof boof. So cute. He's still going. But he's twitching too. Little toes go. Yeah, this is a lot better, I think. That at least looks a bit more smooth. Okay, come back here. Now, this strawberry, the lightest part is right here, but it's not even like a true highlight. And it just gradually fades. The darkest part is right here. Let's try to blend that real quick. Oh, it's still wet, hopefully. Blend, 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 blend. Yeah, it's so much easier to blend when you're not going around all these little tiny things. Like you have to hardly even try. Let's see. It's kind of dark up here. Bend at the top of the strawberry. And even though this is simpler to shade, I definitely want to make sure it looks just as done as the other ones. And since I have to put so much effort into the other ones just to get around the stripes or the whatever, I don't want that to make them look overworked or make these look underworked compared to each other. I think that's pretty good for now. I'm thinking I'll probably do another round of shading once I'm all done. But let's just see how it goes. Because I want it to look nice and smooth, even though I'm using just 3 colors plus a blender. I mean, you could technically use 3 colors and just, you know, draw the ABC or something and fill each one in one of the different color. I want it to look like I put some thought into it, because I did. Let's see, this one actually has a little bit of a shadow right here, like cause where the strawberry dips in at the top, it dips in along the body too on this strawberry. Yeah, that's looking good. It's looking good already. I haven't even blended it. This is why markers are so fun. You just keep adding and adding, and it just looks so good. Okay, how we're doing? Let's blend that. Let's blend it. I'm really liking this challenge so far. At least the way I decided to do it. It's really fun. Blending, blending, blending. Blending, blending, blending. How's that looking? I think that's pretty good for its second round. Let's move to this another difficult one because it's a sprinkleberry. Call it a sprinkleberry. So I think I need to do a shadow like this. This one is looking flat, and this is the one that I changed the most, so I gotta do something about this shadow to make the berry look more round like it's supposed to. So maybe I'll get rid of this area. Won't have that reflection anymore. Maybe that will help. I think that's an improvement. Let me blend it out, soften it up. Still looking kind of flat. What the heck? What should I do? Let's see. Based on the highlight of everyone else, I'll bring this shadow down. Oops, dang it. Got another white sprinkle with my marker. Can't do anything for it. Oops, wrong side. Need the big side. Blend this out. Blend it, blend it, blend it. Need more dark here. More brown here. Blend. Hey, pond scum. Thanks for joining me. I don't think the markers taste good. They're basically filled with rubbing alcohol. I'm going to round this corner a little bit more. I think I've got the shading on this one better than it was. Smooth, smooth, smooth. No way. I'll sniff them. Just a light alcohol smell, and not the nice kind of alcohol. That's something that's great about these markers, though. They don't stink like some cheap markers. Okay, let's do this strawberry some more. It's really dark on this side. Oh. See, it's the big end. And the leaves are casting a shadow. I've got this reflective light here, but this picture doesn't really have any. I wonder if I should keep it. I think I'll get rid of it. Ooh. My dog's barking at the trash cans coming in. Someone's bringing them in. I don't know if you could hear it. It was a pretty loud bark. Oh, there it goes again. How's that? It's looking pretty good, I think. Okay, let's take a break from the brown and go back to the pink colors. I thought that I could use the brown a little bit to get some really dark colors. Need a Shiba Inu. Shiba Inu head. Just the tiniest touch of brown though, I don't want to overdo it. Oh, my cat just snored too. There, just the tiniest little bit. Blend it out. What's that? I think that's working pretty good. A little bit more right there. Yeah, it is pretty close. Yep. I think my blender marker is just really dry. Dang it, I'm gonna have to order a refill thing. Because I used the dark pink just now to try and blend the brown some more, and it worked way better. Ooh, yikes. paper's reaching capacity or something. It feels weird right here where I'm trying to blend. The marker is getting stuck on this spot instead of actually blending. I think that did the trick though. That looks really good right there. Come on, marker. Hang in there. I wonder if I could just refill this with rubbing alcohol. I don't know where mine is right now though. Okay. More dark brown areas. Just a little bit. Oop. Oop. Tiniest little bit. Don't want pink to still look pink. Even though I'm using this. How's that? I think that's pretty good. Okay, I'll use the dark pink again. Maybe I'll just try not to use the colorless blender anymore on this. It's so dry, it's hardly doing anything anyway. Maybe I'll only use it for the brown, where I have these light areas. Oh, wrong side. And how's that? This side, get this side too. Blend it out. Blend it all the way out. This part's pretty light, so I won't mess with that. Okay, now let's move on to these sprinkles. Ugh, my hand just stuck to this. It's getting laden with marker. Can't really, oh, wrong pink, wrong pink. Can't really hold much more in certain areas, I guess. And these ones. Now that it's all dry, it's kind of hard to tell which is pink and which is dark pink. I think I got them though. Dark pink, or the dark pink sprinkles. Just want them to look a little bit more interesting. It's kind of hard to get any depth on these. They're so tiny. How's that? I think that's fine. Okay, one more thing I thought I could do. Make shadows here to show that this pink chocolate stuff is casting a shadow on the dark chocolate stuff. Why I'm no ambidextrous. Ambidextrous. Actually, I'm a weird kind of dexterous. Fine motor things, like brushing my teeth and drawing, left hand, but anything that requires power, like swinging a baseball bat, I'm right-handed. Ambidextrous. Ambidextrous. Little piece of dust on there. Maybe the part where, yeah, I don't even think there's a word for it. Because it's definitely not ambidextrous to only have hand for one thing and other hand for the other thing. Ooh, that looks good. Yeah, I used a light pink to make the shadow on the highlight part. Oops. No, don't crease my paper. Okay, back to this. I'm going to do the same little shadow thing with the sprinkles. Goofy-footed? What's goofy-footed? I can't really see these shadows at all. Oh well. Maybe overall it'll still. What do you use? What do you do that is left-footed? Like soccer or something? Oh, I get it. Yeah, interesting. That's kind of the same deal, I think. Yeah, it's showing up more on this strawberry. Left-footed for dancing. I think I'm gonna do the leaves. I'm gonna make the leaves pink. So they look kind of sad white. Yeah, I think this was a good idea. Don't just leave these all sad, especially with a white background. It's really hard to, just gonna do these lines in them, not really get too in depth with the shading. I just want to give them a little something more than what they had. I think that looks kind of cute. Pink leaves. As if they're petals and not leaves. I mean, maybe they're technically not leaves anyway. I'm not a plant expert. I know that some plants, everybody calls them leaves, and oh, those are actually some other thing. These need to be darker. I wish I had gotten this little dot more blended like this one. This one is so much softer. Just keep working on this for now. Get the leaves done. Then maybe I can think about it. one more. Okay, I'm gonna try to get this. Oh, it's hard with this bottom part, but I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see if I can do something to get a little more. Quick, blend, blend, blend. Dang. Yeah, this is like hardly doing anything because it's so dang dry. I guess I used it all up on the first strawberry. This sad one doesn't get as good a treatment. Okay, have I missed anywhere? I think I can do a little brown on this pink part. Just the tiniest little touch brown down here. And use the dark pink to blend it a little more. Light pink. Oh, let's use the big end. Dang, with this being all dry, I think what it's doing is not even blending anything. I think it's just physically pushing the color around. That would explain why it was really sticky earlier on that one spot of paper. When I flip the paper over, it's not like any part of it is more saturated looking than another part. It's just because this thing is dead. This one's strawberry. Still doesn't look as smooth as the other ones. How's that? I'll bring it back to life. I really am going to see if I can just use rubbing alcohol in it, because then I don't have to buy anything. I love that these are refillable, but the refills are kind of expensive. Yeah. It's not even physically pushing the marker around anymore. Dang it. Well, I still think this looks better, even though the lines aren't smoothed out. I'll do a little bit of dark pink on the leaves. Some of these leaves are casting shadows, so it makes sense to put a little bit of dark stuff on there. It makes them more interesting too. there. A little bit along the edge here. Yeah, I like that. Let's see, this one. This one's quite dark. Middle strawberry. This is pretty dark in here, like sticking straight up this leaf. This one is in shadow. I feel like it was really noisy and now it's super quiet. I guess it just must be that I'm not scraping the marker across the paper anymore. You know what? I wonder if I use... I wonder what would happen. I can see right here that the pink looks pretty good on these spots. Where I used it, although it looks like the camera's hardly even picking it up, but I used the pink to make a shadow for this stripe of pink chocolate, casting a shadow on the bright part of the dark chocolate. Maybe I can use it to blend this part. And this strawberry that's bugging me. Oh, it looks totally different. Well, I guess you can't tell on the... Can't tell that it looks different on the screen. It doesn't look like the camera's not picking up. But it definitely looks different in person. The pigments combining the brown and the pink are turning red. At least to my eye. Maybe once it dries it won't seem that way. Blood-covered strawberries. Perfect for Valentine's Day. Or any holiday. I'm going to do some on this one too. Oh, it's dyeing the tip of this pink one. I'm gonna have to clean that. Ah, there's so much that it's really not drying very fast. So much marker on the page. Maybe I should call it quits then. Wish this hadn't died. Okay. Just looking it over one more time. I want to make sure it looks evenly done. Yeah, I think this is good. I think I'm going to call it good here. Because especially without this blender, there's not really much more I can do. And the paper in some areas, but this is still not even, the pigment is like pooling, and you can see it, or at least I can see it. I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera. So I don't think this paper can handle much more. It's even getting a little bit wrinkly. So I think I'm just going to sign it and call it good for today. This is the same brush pen I used to do the line work. Pond Scum, you made the chat so long! Okay, well, that's all I had for today. So, thanks for joining me, Pond Scum, in the chat. That was fun. I'll be back again tomorrow. Thanks for watching!